What if the one feature that gave the Galaxy Note its edge might soon return to the Galaxy Z Fold without the trade-offs? After dropping S Pen support from the Galaxy Z Fold 7 to make it thinner and lighter, Samsung is now hinting at a comeback, but this time powered by new tech that could change everything. According to a report from It News, Samsung isn't giving up on the S Pen for foldables, it's just waiting until the tech catches up. Kongmin Seok, a key executive at Samsung's MX business division, confirmed that they are actively developing a new kind of S Pen technology. The goal, to bring back stylus support to the Z Fold lineup without sacrificing thinness, weight, or performance. Right now, the existing S Pen relies on Wacom's EMR system, which needs a digitizer built into the screen but doesn't require a battery inside the pen itself. That works well on phones like the Galaxy S26 Ultra or older Fold models that supported it, but it adds thickness and complexity to foldable designs. Samsung wants to change that. They're working with a South Korean company called Hydeep on a new kind of S Pen that won't need a separate digitizer or even a battery. That could make it a perfect fit for future foldable phones, where every millimeter counts. Samsung says the S Pen will return only if this next-gen stylus tech meets their performance expectations and if there's enough demand from users. This isn't just about tech for tech's sake. Samsung is watching how users respond to the current Fold 7, and they're open to adjusting their priorities if people really want the S Pen back. The company is also shifting away from chasing the thinnest design at all costs. For example, instead of sticking with an under-display camera that looked cool but didn't work well, the Fold 7 now uses a regular punch-hole selfie camera for much better image and video quality. That shows Samsung is willing to make smarter design decisions, not just flashier ones. Bringing back the S Pen would follow that same thinking. Yes, people loved how sleek the Fold 7 became, but many also missed the creative and productivity perks the S Pen brought, whether it was taking notes on the big inner screen or sketching directly onto the display. The Fold line has always tried to blend smartphone power with tablet flexibility, and the S Pen is the tool that completed that experience. If Samsung can deliver stylus functionality without adding bulk or needing a complicated hardware setup, it could be a big win. It also helps that Apple still doesn't offer full Apple Pencil support on its iPhones, giving Samsung a potential edge once again. So while the Galaxy Z Fold 7 doesn't have the S Pen, the idea isn't off the table. What if the biggest iPhone upgrade in years is just around the corner and you already know exactly when it's coming? According to insider Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, Apple is planning to unveil the iPhone 17 series during the week of September 8, 2025. While the company hasn't made an official announcement yet, Gurman's weekly Power On newsletter says Apple usually sticks with Tuesdays for iPhone events and avoids announcing new products on September 11th. That makes Tuesday the 9th or Wednesday the 10th the most likely dates for Apple's next big reveal. So whether you're still rocking an iPhone 6 South Plus or holding onto a newer iPhone 16 Pro Max, this year's upgrade could be the one that gets your attention. The iPhone 17 lineup is expected to include for models the base iPhone 17, the ultra-thin iPhone 17 Air, the iPhone 17 Pro, and the top-of-the-line iPhone 17 Pro Max. All four phones are getting meaningful changes. The regular iPhone 17 will jump to a 6.3-inch display, slightly larger than the 6.1-inch screen on the iPhone 16. It's also expected to include a 48-megapixel wide rear camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 24-megapixel front-facing camera. That's a solid setup for users who love taking photos but don't need pro-level hardware. If you want a thinner design, the iPhone 17 Air might be for you. It will feature a 6.7-inch display and a single 48-megapixel rear camera, borrowed from the iPhone 16, plus the same 24-megapixel selfie camera. Because of its slim build, there's only space for one rear lens, and the battery is expected to be just 2,800 mAh, so you'll be trading battery life for sleekness. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max models are where things really get exciting. Both phones are rumored to include 48-megapixel sensors across all three rear cameras, wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto. They're also getting 24-megapixel front-facing cameras. That kind of setup would be a first for Apple and a huge step forward in mobile photography. These Pro models will run on the new A19 Pro chip, manufactured by TSMC using its 3nm process. The iPhone 17 and 17 Air will feature the standard A19 chip, but the Pro models will take things to the next level with enhanced performance and more power for advanced features, including Apple Intelligence. RAM is also getting a boost. The iPhone 17 will come with 8 GB of RAM, while the Air, Pro, and Pro Max are all expected to have 12 GB. This means better multitasking, faster app switching, and improved background performance. Samsung might finally be gearing up for a camera upgrade that actually surprises fans, and this time it could be a big one. A newly coming from Fixed Focus Digital on Weibo claims that the upcoming Galaxy S26 Ultra might ditch Samsung's in-house 200-megapixel sensor in favor of a brand new Sony-made 200-megapixel sensor, and not just any sensor, but one that measures 1.1 inches. That would be a noticeable jump from the 1.3-inch sensor used in the current Galaxy S25 Ultra, which, despite its high resolution, didn't really wow anyone in terms of image quality this year. This new sensor could push the S26 Ultra closer to phones with 1-inch sensors like the Oppo Find X8 Ultra or Xiaomi 13 Pro. That means more light, more depth, and possibly a major leap in low-light performance and detailed cropped zoom shots. If this plays out, Samsung might finally deliver full-resolution 200MP photos that don't feel like a gimmick. Of course, we have to take it all with some skepticism because Samsung has always relied on its own camera tech for the Ultra series. And Sony hasn't even released a 200MP sensor for smartphones yet, at least not publicly. But rumors have been floating since March that Sony is working on a sensor exactly like this, and it might be time for them to challenge Samsung's dominance in high-megapixel smartphone imaging. What makes this even more interesting is that Samsung has been playing it safe lately. The S25 Ultra launch earlier this year left many fans underwhelmed, with barely any meaningful hardware changes and a lot of copy-paste from previous models. That's why a big shift like this, not just more megapixels, but a larger sensor from Sony, could be a sign that Samsung is ready to shake things up again. It also raises the stakes for early 2026, when the S26 Ultra is expected to be announced. If true, this could put the S26 Ultra in a stronger position against rivals who have been pushing the camera envelope while Samsung focused more on AI and incremental changes. Interestingly, Samsung's own camera strategy has been very controlled, and switching to Sony, even for just one component, would signal a change in mindset. The company seems to be listening, or at least recognizing that it can't keep releasing Ultra phones without Ultra improvements. With the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7 showing real upgrades this year, perhaps Samsung is taking the feedback seriously and lining up a real treat for S-series fans. Still, we haven't heard anything about changes to the other cameras on the S26 Ultra, so that's something to watch out for. Will we see better zoom, a new ultra-wide lens, or maybe improved video stabilization?